4 saves. I love
that crowd. I love you, San Antonio. It's Wemby's playoff debut, and it was a good one. 111-98 win for San Antonio. He had 35, 5 assists, 3. That's not right, is it? 5 rebounds, 2 blocks. De'Aaron Fox had 17. Avdia had 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. But the Spurs did, as a team, shoot 45% from the 3. First playoff win since 2019. First points for Wemby in the playoffs. Like, there's a lot of firsts last night. He actually even broke Tim Duncan's playoff first points, playoff paint, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
What was that?
I can't even do it. I just was very excited to finally get to this game. That being said, Boogie, can you believe he was how many from 3, Wemby? Like, that's not even fair to say that a dude that's 7'5" is also doing that.
5 or 6.
Wemby's special. The Spurs group is special. I actually think this would be a sweep. It'll be over rather quickly. I do feel like this, considering everything this Portland group has went through this season, I believe they overachieved this year. So, regardless if they're swept or it's a gentleman's sweep, I think this is a positive for them moving forward. They're learning about their young group.
Boogie, ain't nothing positive about no sweep. I know what you're trying to do, but ain't nothing positive about no sweep.
It's a positive for Portland. You learn who your young guys are.
I agree with you. Now, they got some overachieve in them, but it ain't no positive if they get swept.
Well, I'm trying to be positive.
I like that.
With all that being said, this is a great showing from Scoot Henderson. Obviously, you want to continue to build his confidence in this league. I think this was a great confidence booster for him. He had a rather decent performance. So I looked at this more as a positive for Portland just moving forward, even being in this situation. But this Spurs team is just light years ahead of them. They're a team built for contending as of right now, even though they're a very young group. De'Aaron Fox, with his performance, just everything with this group is built for right now. So I'm not surprised at all. We spoke on this Spurs group all year. We know how talented they are. They beat some of the top teams in the league all year. This is their moment. We're going to see what happens moving forward. But as far as this series, I'm thinking sweep.
People watching, it's like 82% say sweep too. I'm not saying that because I'm not jinxing.
Yeah, I don't know about a sweep again. Maybe it goes to 5. Like, does it really matter?
Gentleman's sweep.
Gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, they're winning the series. But what's crazy to me is just the growth that they've had from the beginning of the season. We knew that they were young, right? We knew the potential was there, the future is bright. Kind of compared them to OKC just because they're foundational pieces and what they have and how deep they were. And then, like, in the middle of the season, something just clicked. We were like, okay, this team is growing and getting much better to, holy shit, like, they can win it all.
Ruh-roh.
Like, it just happened out of nowhere, and everyone plays their role so perfectly. If someone's out, it's next man up. They're obviously anchored on the defensive end by Wemby, but then, like, Castle's a dog as a guard picking up 94 feet. They have great role players. They have a great bench. They have great coach. Like, they have it all, and it's just happened so quickly. And there was a play last night that we didn't have on the highlight for some reason. Wemby got, when there was like 10 seconds on the shot clock, remember he just dribbled to the corner of the 3-point line and just hit a shot at fadeaway just like for fun with 10. I thought the shot clock was going out. It was ridiculous to see him do that. And again, you think first time playoff, first game, he didn't miss a beat. He thrived in the biggest moment of his career. And again, this is why we're going to continue to talk about him as becoming one of the greats, because we're going to see him do it in the postseason in April, May, June, July. Like that, we're going to see him do it when it really matters. Probably not July, June, but
July would be weird.
This was awesome, and this team is super impressive.
I felt like that was the first time I saw Wemby really play last night.
Interesting.
Like, the emotion was there. The stage wasn't too big for him. It looked like, to me, this was the moment that he's been waiting for. And you usually get that kind of energy from veteran guys. You get that from guys that's been in deep playoff runs where they hate the regular season and they're ready to get to some real basketball. That was the vibe that I got from Wemby last night. Like, if you look at the stats, all of these guys, they scored, but they weren't efficient. Like, San Antonio didn't play their best basketball as far as the other guys go, and they still look really great. Like, it didn't matter whether they were scoring the basketball efficiently enough. They're so good on the defensive end, and Wemby is so good at anchoring them on the defensive end that they just stop you from scoring. If we're not going to score and we're not going to be efficient, we're just not going to let you put points on the board. So to see his impact on the defensive end and see it on the offensive end, it was incredible to watch. Like, we're running out of positive things to say about him, but he knocked a new wall down last night from expectation level from him. So, gentleman sweep, that's us being kind to Portland. I'll say it. I think it'll be a sweep. And I hate to say that with any team that got Drew Holiday on it, because he's the ultimate competitor, and I got a high level of respect for Drew. I just think these guys are outgunned and outmatched against San Antonio.
And think about it, like Scoot had 18 and Denny had 30, 10, and 5, and they still had no chance of winning this game. They played pretty good.
I think my favorite thing was, I believe it was Ramona Shelburne asking Wemby afterwards, like if having, and by the way, we're going to get to the t-shirts in a second, but having like Duncan and Robinson, Pop was there, Monty was there, if having like those guys in the building adds an extra weight, and he was like, no, not a weight at all. It actually feels safe. And I was like, they're in a very like conducive environment.
I love it, bro.
It's safe.
Yeah, someone scoring 35 points. He said it's not that much.
That's culture. But listen, that's culture, and you got to give San Antonio the props. Like, we've always talked about the culture that they've built for their community and for their organization. For him to say that it feels safe, a lot of guys will look in that crowd and you see some of your icons that come before you, and that you might feel pressure.
Right.
Like, I gotta level up to what those guys have been able to accomplish. Instead, he feels right at home. That goes to the credit of Pop. That goes to their front office. They went out and got the right guy for the job to build a new dynasty around. But they got to get it done. But last night, game one for 16. That was a great showing for them.
Yeah, that's different. Seeing two of the greatest Spurs of all time, that calms your nerves.
Yeah, because you know why? Because they're there. They're always there.
All these legends.
They're at every game.
At peace.
I will say
that's different.
Please show Tim Duncan and David Robinson in the Fiesta shirts, because they were bullying like regular folks on the Jumbotron. If they didn't have their shirt on, they were showing them on the Jumbotron and then bullying them to put their T-shirts on.
It.
But when you have two Hall of Famers that are sitting courtside wearing the shirts,
it's awesome.
I'm sorry.
Everyone's just bought in.
It's kind of amazing.
It's this, and again, we go back to years ago with the culture and Pop. Like, think about it. You would think there'd be some animosity even, or jealousy, or like judgment. Like, there's not. It's just it's truly like a family-driven organization. No egos, like no job too small. Like, it's when Wemby went there, everyone was like, "Oh, this is rigged." Like, of course he went there. Like, it made too much sense.
Where would you like him to go? There's nowhere else for him to have gone. This was
I still think he would have been great if he went 29 other teams, but this is just the perfect fit, and this is a perfect match. And this organization is top notch.
No, he would have gone to some teams and they would have crushed him, and it would have been awful. This is how.
You think he's only good on the Spurs?
No, I think he's just perfect on the Spurs. It's different. We're going to take a quick break. More games to get to, including one at the Garden. We'll get to Atlanta, New York next. Lou, we are being bamboozled by Orlando, though, this time around. Banchero with 23, 9 rebounds. Didn't have anything in the fourth, but who cares? Didn't need it. Franz Wagner, 19, 11 in the fourth. He took up. Cade Cunningham, it's playoff career high for him, 39. He was 13 to 27. That is 11 straight home games dropped in the playoffs by Detroit. That goes back to 2008, which is just a crazy little stat. But Wednesday of last week, we thought this Magic team was hot garbage.
Well, by the way, Wednesday last week they were.
Right, but what could possibly have happened?
No, it didn't rip with Magic last Wednesday.
Then tell me, then take me through this.
Because look, this is a team that has gone through a roller coaster of injuries and situations this year, which I don't think anyone saw. And this is a team before the season started that we all thought were going to be a home court advantage type team, a top 4 team. Jamal and Mosley, they're going to be well coached. They're going to be defensive minded. And I think we just feel like the fit maybe, or the system or the style of play with Paolo and Franz maybe didn't really mesh well, and Jalen Suggs being out of the lineup and them kind of trying to find all these different guys from off the bench. Anthony Black's had a great year, but this version of the team is what I expected all year long. They can take away what you do better, what you do great. Paolo he was more efficient at least. He's 8 of 15. That is the version of him where he's getting to the basket, he's getting to the free throw line, he's playing bully ball and picking his spots, and he didn't look hesitant like he did in that play-in game. And by the way, I don't think we talked about it, but then they also looked much better against Charlotte in that winner-go-home game.
Yeah, that was a blowout. You're right.
So listen, this is the version of what we thought. And then Detroit on the flip side, this is a team that we didn't know whether they're going to be better in the playoffs because it slows down, they're going to be physical, or is it going to be worse because they don't have that number 2 option outside of Cade Cunningham. And that's exactly what it looked like in game 1 of this. Let Cade Cunningham get 40, no one else can do anything. And that's exactly what happened.
They did.
So Jalen Duren's got to be better, Jenkins got to be better, Tobias has to be better, because it can't just be the Cade Cunningham show. This is going to be a really long, tough series for the Pistons.
That was ugly, Boogie. It was, it's not what Detroit was looking for. And for everyone who was sort of doubting them and thinking, well, the experience is going to be a problem. That was a bad first game, right?
Well, shout out to Orlando for a great showing, but I look at this loss as more of a Detroit lost this game compared to Orlando winning. I do think it'll be a better showing from the role guys around. I think Tobias will have a better shooting night, along with Jenkins. And I also think we'll see a more aggressive Jalen Duren in the next game. So I look at this as more of them, not handling business. It could be, first game jitters, whatever the case may be. But I do expect a better performance from this Pistons team. Obviously, defense, being a more of a defensive-minded team, I think defense will be on full display with Game 2. But like I said, everybody I mentioned before, I think it'll be a better showing. And I think more so having a more aggressive Jalen Duren changes the whole outlook for this team. I do agree, moving forward with this team wanting to improve and having championship aspirations, I still think they need that second go-to guy, that automatic second go-to guy. Yep. Not a random guy that shows up on a random night.
There you go.
That 20-point per game score that is an automatic every single night. So moving forward, I do still feel that's a thing, but I expect a better performance overall from this Pistons group.
I'm with Boogie on that one. We've talked about this all year about Detroit. We love their style of play. We love how they're built. But who's going to be that secondary guy? Is it going to be Tobias Harris? Is it going to be Jalen Duren? Is it going to be Duncan Robinson? The problem is we're still asking that question, and the playoffs have started. The postseason has started, and Jalen Duren, just 4 attempts is not going to get it done for this team. Now, he's not a natural scorer, like Boogie just said, an automatic guy that you can put the basketball in his hands. He's going to go out and get you 20, 25 points on a given night, but he got to match up with Wendell Carter Jr. better. Carter Jr. he was 8 for 9 from the field, and on the defensive end, Jalen Duren and the bigs, they allowed 54-point paints. That's where the game come down to me. They just didn't have a stand. They didn't have that identity that we're used to them having, and they got to have somebody to be able to score the basketball. If a team just tells Cade Cunningham, you go out and you do whatever you want, but we're going to take away the rest of these guys, and we'll live with the results from that. That looks like that was the game plan for the Orlando Magic, to allow Cade to do his thing. As long as he don't get other guys involved, you can score whatever you want. And just the aggression wasn't there for Jalen Duren. Obviously, it was in, Orlando's game plan to take some of his opportunities away and make the game a little difficult for him, where he can be effective on the offensive end. There has to be something that they address for the next game.
Yeah, and I think it was a bit surprising just because that number 8 versus the number 1, but it shouldn't be that surprising because, again, this is a team that we thought was going to be good. This is not like a real 8
right.
seed.
I was about to say, they weren't even supposed to be an 8
Yeah, like I said,
to begin with.
This is, I don't want to say a tough matchup because, again, as soon as Detroit goes and wins game 2 and the series is even up, the momentum shifts back to Detroit. Now the pressure's on Orlando to not lose game 3 at home. So, again, we're such a what have we done for lately league, and right now this is a shock to some, but the Pistons can just go back and get the momentum again in game 2, fix some things, clean some up. I'd like to see Jalen Duren be more aggressive, but again, he's not that guy that you're just going to feed and go get a bucket type of two option. No. He's an animal, he's a man-child, he's on the glass, he's a lob threat, but it's not like you're going to feed him the ball more. 4 shots still, though, just throughout the game, he should get more attempts than 4 shots. Whether that, he should get 4 putbacks, like that's not enough.
They also got to get that weird home court curse off. That's 11 straight at home in the playoffs. Get rid of that.
That's a crazy stat.
The game of the night. Let's talk about it.
Was it a raid?